We have all heard the warnings about the deadly dangers of fentanyl. Now, hundreds of Metro bus drivers say they and their passengers are exposed to toxic fentanyl smoke every day. Some drivers say it's made them sick or threatened their ability to do their job safely.
They turn to KIRO 7's Gary Horker because they say the danger for them and thousands of riders has reached the breaking point.
Lurking inside countless Metro Transit buses
it's all day, every day,
is frustration over dangerous fumes arising from America's deadliest drug.
Every morning it's the same thing.
Every day, Finette Blackbear says she rides a Metro bus to work along with the sharp odor of fentanyl smoke, which she says can make her sick. You wear 2 masks to protect yourself from this fentanyl smoke on the bus.
I do, every day.
These fentanyl pills, commonly known as blues on the street, have become so plentiful and so cheap on the streets from Seattle to Spokane and beyond. Police say they've replaced addiction markets of even heroin and meth. And the preferred method of using the blues is to roast them on tinfoil, burning the pills into smoke.
Every other bus, I'd say, to be honest with you.
People are smoking blues on the bus.
Yeah, every other bus.
Users inhale the noxious smoke with a straw, and the effect is immediate. We boarded Metro buses ourselves and often found the effects of fentanyl smoke hard to miss. We saw users often quickly slumping down into a zombie-like state of short-term unconsciousness. And from the outside looking in, we saw users lighting up with passengers clearly nearby.
It's getting to where I'm afraid to go to work anymore.
This veteran Metro driver asked us not to identify him.
They do this without any regard to who else is on the bus.
Because he says drivers' jobs have been threatened for speaking out. Metro drivers tell KIRO 7 several of them have been rushed to the ER after reporting being overcome by fentanyl smoke when riders burn the blues behind them. Some passengers describe the smell like burning peanut butter mixed with drain cleaner, but they have no idea how the smoke, which they have no choice but to breathe, is affecting them.
The most disturbing cases I've seen are people doing it right behind unsuspecting families with children.
Blues are smoked openly on the streets of Seattle. We even saw it being smoked while police were standing nearby. But fentanyl overdoses have become the leading cause of death for American adults ages 18 to 45. King County has seen an increase of 650% in fentanyl overdose deaths just in the past 5 years. Metro drivers posted this video after getting off the bus trying to get smokers' attention. But they tell us smokers are rarely deterred. One Metro operator tried to call out this fentanyl user who continued to smoke, filling the bus with fumes.
It's insane. It's out of control.
Corey Rigtrup is the vice president of the Metro Drivers Union. He told us only 8 months ago this problem didn't exist.
We didn't even know what it was.
But suddenly, hundreds of buses and light rail trains became littered with scorched foil. Drivers exchanged photos, some showing partially melted pills.
Somewhere along the way, someone said it was cool to smoke drugs on the bus and that no one's going to stop you. And that's where we are today.
So the bus is the destination for people to go into the back and smoke fentanyl.
What's been explained to me is it's desirable to smoke the drugs on the bus. That's the ideal place.
Drivers say users tell them smoking fentanyl outside tends to scatter the fragile fumes they're trying to inhale.
This is a passionate topic for me. I want my riders back, folks.
Eric Christensen has been a Metro driver for 22 years. That's Eric there in the driver's seat.
Thank you for letting me speak.
And just last week, Eric begged the King County Council to understand the urgency of his safety message.
You see the picture in my background. That's not a random picture. Each one of those pieces of foil represents somebody using fentanyl. This happens daily on our buses. Daily.
So the fentanyl smoke, the drivers are telling you it's impairing them.
Yes, operators are saying, I'm getting sick, I'm getting headaches, I'm getting dizzy. I stop the bus, I pull over and let people off because they're experiencing the same thing.
Are you worried a driver is going to be completely overcome by fentanyl smoke while they're operating the bus?
I think it's just a matter of time before that happens.
So only a few hours after we recorded that interview, that driver went to work and he became so sick, so overcome by fentanyl smoke on board his coach, his supervisor immediately took him out of service. He said it happened after a couple was openly smoking blue pills on the bus and they refused to leave.
We could have a driver collapse. There's all sorts of scenarios that I worry about with a driver who may be high on fentanyl.
Metro drivers have told KIRO 7 and their union transit police will not typically remove someone smoking fentanyl on board public transit.
I've had King County Sheriff deputies within feet of the individual smoking and said they couldn't do anything.
Metro unveiled a new pilot safety program just last week. The plan bolsters the number of unarmed guards to show riders a more visible security presence.
You could put 200 security guards out there. It will not help out with the problem of smoking fentanyl on the buses. It's too widespread.
Metro drivers tell us their security guards are not permitted to physically remove drug users. Drivers say if they report feeling impaired by the smoke, their supervisors call their first option going sick on the road.
The only option they gave me was to go sick on the road, to shut the bus down, tell everybody to get off and end service.
He says sometimes a fentanyl smoker refuses to leave and they seem to get priority. So they tell you there's nothing that you can do other than evacuate the bus and wait for the person to leave on their own.
Correct. They would leave the person on until they decided they were ready to leave.
Drivers say without security help, they themselves are their own last line of defense.
I mean, Metro has a policy saying I can't eat potato chips on a bus, but smoking fentanyl's okay? Someone needs to enforce the rules of conduct.
And daily riders we talk to extend an open invitation to any leader to join them any morning on their way to work.
Ride the bus and see for himself what's going on.
Every Metro Transit driver we talk to on this story loves their job. It's a vocation for them. And so they're trying to find solutions, writing their lawmakers, urging them to make it a felony to subject people to opioid smoke on public transit. Also, Metro is looking for solutions between police and security. This is the first step in our coverage. We're going to keep you posted as progress is made. Reporting tonight in Seattle, I'm Gary Horker.
Wow, just an eye-opening report. And we should mention our investigative team did a great job, but it was not hard for them to get those images. It was not difficult, just dangerous because it's so prevalent.
And so many people stepping forward to share their story and share the experience in hopes that this gets turned around and that people, those drivers and those riders are kept safe.
Right, absolutely. They need some change.